I am not a huge baseball fan at all. I'm a very casual baseball fan and turned into an ambivalent baseball fan over the last 10 to 15 years since leaving Kansas City and being tasked with covering the Kansas City Royals from time to time. I am a very casual baseball fan. But what Shohei Ohtani accomplished this season is incredible. It's an expression of true greatness. It's the kind of thing that as a sports fan, I marvel at. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, first time that's ever been done. No one even thought it was possible what he just accomplished. He's been in the GOAT conversation. Now he's really, really in the GOAT conversation, and people can have legitimate conversations about whether or not this guy is the modern iteration of Babe Ruth. Shohei Ohtani, he's a pitcher who's been injured this year, hasn't been pitching, focused on hitting. He's a designated hitter, and he's been that for the 6-7 years he's played in Major League Baseball. But this year, an incredible accomplishment that I don't think has received near the attention it should have. What he did last night in Miami, he went to bat 6 times. Got hits all 6 times. 3 home runs, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and a single. It's unbelievable. Stole 2 bases, drove in 10 runs, 10 RBI. It's the greatest baseball game that's ever been played, and he did it in a game where the Dodgers clinch their playoff spot. And he moves into a club of one, 50-50. This march towards 50-50 has been going on, and casuals like myself, and look, I'm making an excuse. I'm a casual fan. But what Shohei Ohtani did should have captured the imagination, and there should have been a 2-month-long buildup to like, oh my God, this guy is going full Babe Ruth, and we need to focus all this attention on it and pick up casual fans like Jason Whitlock and others who have kind of checked out of baseball. This should have been a moment that brings all sports fans together in amazement, and we should all be standing at the water cooler, marveling at what we all witnessed and what Shohei Ohtani accomplished. That's what sports used to do. They used to bring us all together. Why don't they now? What's different? We don't have a gathering spot for sports fans. You know what used to be the gathering spot for sports fans? ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I've lived long enough. And again, what Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa accomplished in 1998, that's nearly impossible to duplicate. It's the home run deal. It's Roger Maris. It's so much history that I'm not saying what Shohei did would have been a duplicate or a reincarnation of 1998. But it should have been more than what it was. And the reason it's not is because we've all been divided by ESPN. Intentionally, by the sports media world. People like myself, if there's not a live sporting event on, I'm committed to not watching ESPN. And so are many other people. We've all been fragmented. We've been sifted as wheat, as they talk about in the Bible. Sports fans, we've been divided. The thing that used to bring us all together. You throw out your political beliefs, you throw out your religious beliefs, you throw out skin color, and we'd all gather inside stadiums and arenas, around radios, around TVs, and we'd all root for athletic greatness. We did it with Michael Jordan. We've done it time and time again throughout history. We no longer do that because ESPN has divided us. My contention is they destroyed the greatest Shohei on earth, what he just accomplished, should have brought us all together. They've diminished Caitlin Clark and what she's accomplishing. Because there have been two incredible sports stories this year. I paid attention to one of them, what Caitlin Clark is doing for the WNBA. That's a choice I made. I hopped on board with Caitlin Clark a year and a half, 2 years ago at Iowa, and decided to continue the ride into the WNBA. But even that has been diminished because ESPN chooses to divide us. And so we have Shohei Ohtani and what he just accomplished. This is athletic greatness at the highest level. ESPN has spent the summer convincing us or trying to persuade us into believing Angel Reese getting 10 rebounds and 10 points a game and this double-double streak, that's a big deal. That's the incredible accomplishment. In my view, there has been far more attention on Angel Reese's double-double streak in the WNBA than Shohei Ohtani. And they did that to divide us because they wanted to diminish Caitlin Clark. This is what ESPN has done to us, and it irritates me today. And I know many people will sit there and say, oh man, I knew about Shohei Ohtani and you could have been paying attention to it. It was a great moment. It's not what it should have been. This is an incredible moment in sports, what Ohtani did last night and this season. So we'll unlikely to ever see it again, or it'll be a long, long time. This is what he did. The 50-50 deal is now what Roger Maris's 61 used to be in baseball. It's what Babe Ruth, was Babe Ruth 714? Yeah, Babe Ruth was 714 and Hank Aaron went to 715 in Atlanta. It's now the new standard. It's the new, oh my God, can someone do this? And we all should, my mother, casual sports fans, everybody should have been like, oh man, let me tune in and check out and see what's going on with Shohei Ohtani. But we don't have that collective gathering spot. Sports don't bring us together anymore. Sports media is intent on dividing us now. ESPN did that with its Embrace Debate movement. That's my reaction to Shohei Ohtani. That's my reaction to Caitlin Clark and why she can't seem to be celebrated and looked at in awe and not as a polarizing figure by half the country. She's some kind of polarizing figure. And it used to not be that way because we would have media organizations that understood that sports were a tool to bring us together, and we always celebrated what's best, what's truly what's best, instead of DEI, instead of, hey, we got to make sure we're sharing enough of the spotlight. We have to pretend that that Scottie Pippen is as good as Michael Jordan, or that Rolando Blackman is as good as Magic Johnson, or some Kevin McHale is as good as Larry Bird. We have to pretend because everything is about division and debate and embracing debate. ESPN did this to us. Instead of celebrating excellence, instead of using sports as a tool to bring us all together, where people would gather inside of stadiums and it didn't matter what color you were, and there was one national anthem played, and we all came together in moments of patriotism and just celebration of athletic greatness. We don't do that anymore. We play two national anthems. And ESPN justifies that and argues that it's appropriate because everything is about embracing debate. I'm going to walk you through the history of this and try to help you understand the importance of this. When you look at our country and why we're so divided, it is not remotely by accident, and it's not remotely by accident that they chose sports to turn it on upside down, to turn it on its ear, to make it the opposite of the way sports have traditionally been used in this country to bring us together. They have now intentionally used sports to tear us apart. That's how you tear down a country. That's how you get a popular presidential figure that half the country loves, but the other half of the country hates him so bad they want him assassinated. That's how we got here. Sports has played a major role, this division that's promoted in sports, taking away our belief that we can come together in awe of excellence, in awe of achievement, throwing out skin color and all the things, the surface level things that divide us. ESPN did that. Disney did that. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.